The new year has come again. I have to remind myself that our modern Western concept of New Year's is just one of many traditions, celebrating the renewal of a cycle of time stretching back to around 2000 BCE, and that the date of January 1st wasn't actually adopted by the majority of the Western world until after 1582, making it relatively new in the long history of New Year's celebrations. But still, without getting caught up in the details, I believe it's the intention we give to certain events that creates the actual significance behind them. Does something magical actually happen on Earth the second the clock ticks midnight on December 31st? Probably not. In reality, it's probably just a normal night like the one before and the one before that. The actual magic is in the fact that we all believe it represents something special, and in believing, we make it so. It is pretty incredible. Our collective intentions and energies shift to welcome a new perspective on the same day every year. And I think we can all feel that change, which is why it prompts us to take action. And so, what action did you take this year? Did you sit down and write some resolutions or goals for 2023? Think about what you want to change, what might make your life better, what's not serving you anymore. I hope so. I fear that most people don't take this time to really reflect on how they're living and why their reality looks the way it does. When there is something in my life that I don't like, I often ask myself why I've gotten to a place where I'm allowing it to take hold. Then I keep asking why. Why is it happening? Why is that? Why is that? And why is that? More often than not, the true answer is because I'm scared of something, and my fear has been making me procrastinate making a change. And so I've developed habits that may seem harmless, but are actually enabling the existence of something that doesn't serve me. As an avoidant person, I have to be really honest when these things pop up, or I will allow them to continue simply so that I don't have to actually deal with the root cause behind them. It's a brutal part of the self-discovery process, but one that has allowed me to completely change my reality and become a happier, more authentic person, and I am grateful for it. New Year's is a wonderful opportunity to prompt yourself to finally excavate these things from the layers of earth they've been buried under all year. I love the hope that New Year's brings. You imagine your life 12 months from now, after you've made the changes you want to implement, and hopefully you see a happier and healthier person waiting there. My advice, if you're someone who resonates with New Year's, is to create a quarterly New Year's celebration for yourself. Find a date every 3 months and put it on your calendar. Make it a celebration, a night when you order your favorite takeout and put aside chores and work and everything else and carve out a few hours to yourself. Then go through this process. Find whatever method works for you. There are so many templates and advice givers on the internet for inspiration. I even created a free Notion template for this. But make sure you have a plan to reflect on what has and has not been working for you, why that is, and how you're going to approach it going forward. What changes do you want to make? What habits can help you reach your goals? And always end with what you're grateful for, what you loved, what made you feel true and beautiful and alive, in the words of Glennon Doyle. Capture that energy to take with you into the coming months, and you will end up living a much more intentional and fulfilling year. I promise. New Year's Day may just be some made-up construct devised by a Roman emperor for reasons that don't really make any sense in the 21st century, but that doesn't matter. We believe in ourselves a little more at New Year's. We believe in each other. And I think we can all benefit from leaning into that energy and making the decision to use it to help heal and build a better life for ourselves.
Hello, thank you so much for watching and joining me in this new year of 2023. It's January. We just had our New Year's Eve, New Year's Day celebration, and I know lots of people were probably taking the opportunity to make some resolutions for the coming year. And I was definitely one of them. I know I'll share the link below for the Notion template that I created for myself in order to do my reflection and write out like a written vision board for myself and set my intentions for the upcoming year. Map out my values, my goals, like all of it. I made this huge thing. And I decided to make it a template so that anybody who wanted to could take it and use it to do some work on their own. So that will be below. All you have to do to access the template is click on the link. You have to have your own Notion account, obviously, so create a Notion account if you don't already have one. As soon as you open the link, you'll have the option to duplicate the template in the top right corner. And once you do that, it will open up a copy of the template in your Notion dashboard, and you should probably be able to find it on the left side of your Notion dashboard screen. So have fun with that. I hope people enjoy it. So yeah, I definitely wanted to address New Year's in general. One, because I just think it's interesting that everyone in the Western world is like, it's New Year's Day, it's the change of the year, it's a new year, it's the day that we set intentions, and now the number of the year changes, and it's like a huge thing, but it's really just like this construct. It's not like based on we haven't been doing this for very long. The date of January 1st I'm talking about. It's actually people have celebrated the change of a year on many different days, and for the majority of human history, the majority of people celebrated it in March. So it's just interesting to me that like we've decided because of a Roman emperor in 83 AD or something like that, that we're going to celebrate it now. It's fine. It's fine. I don't have a problem with it. But anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit about how I was never really a New Year's person for a very long time. I didn't make New Year's resolutions. And I kind of saw it as like, why am I going to make these goals and resolutions for myself that I'm probably not going to keep? I'm not going to do much toward them. I'm going to forget about them in 3 weeks, and then I'm going to feel bad because I didn't do them. And then a year later, I'm going to look back and be like, well, my life is still my life, and I didn't do those things, and blah. Like, what's the point even? So that was kind of like my outlook for a long time. And then the last couple of years in 2019, 2020, when I was going through my separation, I started really doing a lot of internal work, doing more shadow work, and being much more active around things like the moon cycles, and sort of really leaning into using the energy of those specific times in the year when there is this kind of lunar or cosmic energy aimed toward the process of reflection and intention setting and releasing. The moon cycle gives you a really great opportunity to go through these 4 weeks where you repeat the process of reflecting on your life, making intentions, and then checking in and seeing how it's going, and then making sure that you're releasing anything that isn't serving you or that you want to let go of to make way for all of the new things that you are building up and welcoming in and wanting to introduce into your life. And this entire process really changed me in a lot of ways, because that was the first time that I'd ever really built a practice around reflection and intention setting. And it turned out to be so important for me. Because first of all, like a lot of people don't do tons of inner work on themselves in their life. I know like in my personal life, like my family are not people who sit around doing internal work or self-reflection or intention setting. Like they're not that type of family, which is fine. But I think that you benefit so much from bringing things into the light, because you cannot fix something that you haven't actually acknowledged is a problem. So, in order to actually make lasting change in your life, I really believe that you have to go through the process of sitting down and looking at yourself really deeply, looking at your behaviors and your habits and your emotional triggers and like what's happening in your emotional world and how do you get through your days? Like what does your life really look like? What are the things that aren't helping you, that are holding you back, that are based on old stories that you have to rewrite for yourself? This is all part of this process, and it's so much, guys. It's truly a lot. And honestly, like I've been doing this for over 3 years, and I take it little by little, one thing at a time, but it really has allowed me to create so much positive change and momentum in my life. And so this is why I really recommend this process of reflection and intention setting. And if New Year's is the only time of year that you do it, then great, but like really do it. Like really sit down and carve out this time for yourself to get very honest and very serious about reflecting on your life, recognizing what is not helping you, what behaviors are not authentically you, what behaviors are based on things that you need to reprogram or you need to change. I had a lot of behaviors and like emotional type of responses that I would experience in my life that were not the authentic Jenny. They were not because of, I wasn't reacting or feeling that way because of who I am. I was reacting and feeling that way because of things that had happened to me in the past that had that had taught me that I had to respond a certain way to different scenarios in life in order to protect myself or in order to get love or in order to feel safe. And those are the type of things that you have to figure out a way to uncover and unearth in yourself so that you can recognize and change them. And then the real authentic you comes out, and then you find that you are reacting authentically. The real way that Jenny actually feels about things is what people see and what I put out in my interactions with people. It's not like some weird masked version of myself that I created in my youth in order to deal with situations that I didn't know how to deal with because I was a child, you know? So yeah, and this whole process is so important. It's a whole part of this huge journey that I've been on. But say that you're someone who doesn't, isn't there yet, or you're not really interested in having this like humongous life transformation like I did. Um, all you want to do is just this one day a year, sit down and do some of this work. Use the template, find another method online. There are so many things that could work for you. But what I would recommend is if you want to start making this a little bit more of a practice and a habit in your life, try doing it every 3 months. Do a quarterly reflection and intention setting session. Set aside 1 hour every 3 months. Make it a fun night. Like I actually went through this process when I got separated. I was like, oh shit, I got to start budgeting my money because I'm a single mom now, and I have to pay for my own life with my one income, and I actually have to budget things. Oh my god. And I went through the process of adopting this budgeting system, and now I actually look forward to budgeting my money because on the first of every month, I make like a little budgeting date for myself, and like I make myself a cup of tea and I put on some, like lo-fi in the background, and I get all comfy, cozy, and then I open up my budgeting software and I go through my monthly budget, and just like taking the time to do that has actually taught me that just bringing that energy and the intention toward my budget and my money has helped me to be so much more grateful for my money, and knowledgeable about how I spend my money. And I actually like take the time during this process to really feel so thankful for all of the abundance in my life, the money that I get to play with, the money that I get to spend in order to make my life wonderful and to take care of my son. Like, I get excited about the money that I get to spend on these things to make my life so good. And like just having this real joy around budgeting my money out and like looking what I have coming in for the next month and feeling so grateful and excited to play with this money. I really feel like that has made a huge difference in my life because I have brought the intention to my budgeting that this is a great thing. This is something that is a good time, and it makes me feel really good to think about it, and that I have so much less anxiety going through the month. Like after going through that process, and I feel like I've just had more and more abundance start coming into my life since I started this process in the first place. Like that energy for me has really shifted into a new place because of the time and the energy and the intention that I've put into working with it. And so I really feel like when it comes to goal setting and making changes in your life, it's the same thing. Like, take some time every 3 months. My suggestion is to sit down and do like a quarterly session where you have a little intention setting party and really sit down and do the work and take an hour or two to sit down and go through this process. Look back on the last 3 months and look forward to the next 3 months, and just like make it a little micro New Year's Eve for yourself. But you're not planning a whole year in advance. That's a lot. It's a long time from now. Don't worry about that. Worry about the next 3 months, okay? I think this is a great way to actually start building the practice of intention setting and reflection in your life, which I think is really essential to building momentum toward taking yourself to new places and making lasting change that is going to lead to your joy and fulfillment in life. Yeah, it's made a huge difference in my life. I feel like I've made such huge strides toward a life of joy and fulfillment. And I live it right now. I feel like I'm living a true life of joy and fulfillment right now. And there's always places that I want to keep going to and changes that I'm making to hopefully get me, keep me going up and up and up and making my life more and more and more abundant. But introducing this practice has really made a difference for me, and I highly recommend it to everybody. So, yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you had a wonderful New Year's and holiday, and it's time for January to start, for us to get cracking on 2023. Try not to put yourself under too much pressure. Take things slow. If you just want to think about the next 12 weeks, just think about the next 12 weeks. And that's all you gotta do. Look up the 12-week year. That's another system that I use that's really wonderful. I just plan out a couple of my main goals for the next 12 weeks, and then I break down each goal into specific tasks that I can do day by day and week by week to get me toward that goal. So it can be as simple as that. It doesn't have to be this huge, grandiose change you want to make in your life, because if we just say we're gonna like eat healthier or work out more, that's not a sustainable plan. You don't actually have a plan. That's just saying something. Anybody can say something. I'm going to ride a horse to work from now on. I work in my house. But you see, I can say whatever I want. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. So, yeah, having a goal and actually doing the work is the only way to make real change in your life. So, yeah, it's not really a way to escape that. That's just what it is. So yeah, good luck. I would love to hear about how you guys actually do your own reflection and intention setting. If you guys have similar practices, I would love to hear about them below. And again, I will link my Notion template, so feel free to copy that for yourself and get started on this process. Happy New Year's and happy 2023.